Greetings to all Southern Cameroonians, to all Ambazonians on ground zero and across the entire world. This is King H. Cryouttv Theodore. I gotta say I enjoyed your recent YouTube show which you named Blind Leaders in the Revolution. And indeed, the leaders in the revolution, from the interim government to even as far as AGOC, they are all blind leaders. They don't have a vision. They don't have a goal. They don't have a purpose. They may say they do, but they don't. Which is why they are all blind leaders. And you have blind leaders leading blind soldiers to a pit hole where everybody is just dying. Southern Cameroonians are dying. Citizens of Southern Cameroonians are dying. You know, as a matter of fact, you might say this, Southern Cameroonians. In this war that we have been fighting, in this revolution that we've been fighting, how many soldiers of La Republic have been killed compared to the amount of citizens, including the Ambazonian soldiers? The citizens plus Ambazonian soldiers, the total amount, how many have been killed? And I'll compare that to the amount of military forces of La Republic being killed. The amount that has been killed inside Southern Cameroon outweighs the amount of soldiers of La Republic that have been killed. Which means that, based on my analysis, we're not winning this war. We're losing this war. We are not winning this war. And then the thing is, the most painful thing about the fact that we are losing the war is the fact that many activists come up with little gains to inspire the people that we are winning. Especially when they kill 4 soldiers of La Republic, or 2 soldiers of La Republic, or 6 soldiers of La Republic, or whatever amount, which is not even up to 10 soldiers that have been killed day in, day out. They come and report to say, oh, we are winning because this is the amount of soldiers that have been killed. But the amount of people that have been killed inside Southern Cameroon, inside the counties in Southern Cameroon, day in, day out, outweighs the amount of soldiers that are being killed from La Republic de Cameroon. Which simply means that we're losing this war. We're losing because our people, our citizens, and some of our soldiers are being killed. Which is why when the blacklegs, who are forced in the condition of given they are forced given the surroundings of the soldiers on ground zero, the Ambazonian soldiers are angry and get mad because many of the soldiers get hurt, get killed in that process, so they want to retaliate, but then they take it out on the blacklegs. But even you kill all the blacklegs, I'll say this, and I've said this before, even if you kill all the blacklegs, we still cannot win this revolution because we still have to deal with La Republic. We still have to deal with the soldiers of La Republic, the people who are stopping our independence, the people who are in the way of our freedom. It's not the blacklegs. It's La Republic and La Republic's defense military. La Republic military forces. Those are the people who are against our independence, who are against our freedom. The government of La Republic and the full soldiers of La Republic who are executing the orders from La Republic de Cameroon. So that should be our main focus. That should be our top priority. That should be the number one agenda that our leaders, our blind leaders, should be concerned with. But they're not concerned about that. They're not really concerned about that. They're really fighting for power within the small military groups that have been created for the purpose of liberation of Southern Cameroon. Those military groups that have been created across the 14 or 13 counties have been created to liberate Southern Cameroon, not fight citizens of Southern Cameroon or other military groups of Southern Cameroon. But our blind leaders are leading this revolution blindly by instead attacking the military group that Southern Cameroon has been struggling to raise to fight against the enemy that is against our independence, which is La Republic, which is the military of La Republic de Cameroon. So if we keep spending more times, fighting other military groups in Southern Cameroon instead of fighting the enemy, fighting blacklegs, instead of focusing on the enemy that is inside Southern Cameroon, we are lost. We don't know our purpose. We don't know what we're trying to do. In the process of doing that, those blind leaders are actually taking the financial gains that have been accumulated during the process of this revolution, which is supposed to be used for the revolution. They use it for their own financial gains. The blind leaders are not necessarily blind, they are just greedy, selfish, they're just glutton, looking after their own bellies. And the people, the soldiers on ground zero, the people, the citizens of Southern Cameroon suffer. Why? The blind leaders from the interim government, from Sako's team to AGovC's team, the leaders and the surrogates keep attacking each other. You know, President Paul Biya or La Republic de Cameroon have used the tactics or the strategy of divide and conquer to control Northwest and Southwest for so long. Now we're actually using the divide and conquer to conquer ourselves, Southern Cameroon, in order to conquer La Republic de Cameroon. Does that make sense? Let me try to say that again. We're using the tactics of La Republic de Cameroon, which is the conquer and divide, to fight ourselves, to fight Southern Cameroon, to fight other military groups, to fight other groups like the AGovC, like the interim government. The surrogates are fighting against it. The surrogates of each groups are fighting against each other. They are dividing and trying to conquer each other in order to have a whole that will fight against La Republic de Cameroon. In other words, this is what they're doing. We are at war against La Republic de Cameroon, and the soldiers of Southern Cameroon, and the leaders of Southern Cameroon, that should be focusing on fighting the main enemy, which is La Republic de Cameroon. They take the time while at war to fight among themselves in order to fight against La Republic de Cameroon. Does that make sense? Does that really make sense? You see, when a group of people are trying to fight for freedom, for independence against another group, they need more unity. They need to work together. They need to create the momentum of unity that is going to be fed on the revolution in order to fight against the enemy. But our leaders, who are blind and greedy, who are blind and selfish, who are blind and glutton to money for themselves, use soldiers, use the military groups that have been brought up to fight against independence of Southern Cameroon, to fight with Southern Cameroonian citizens, Southern Cameroonian military groups themselves. In other words, if we truly want independence, if we truly want a free and fair Southern Cameroon, if we truly want sovereignty, a nation of our own, it's time for the soldiers on ground zeros, the generals all across the 14 counties, start working as a team in your individual perspective counties. I could say this, at least in all the 13 counties or 14 counties, there are at least 6 or 7 different military groups in each county, or probably more. If those groups, take for example like Mezam County or Lebialem County or Meme County or whatever county you want to choose, and let's say there are 7 military groups being led by different people. If those military groups can coordinate, could team up, could work together in taking out the enemies strategically, together, starting with one military base, starting with one military sector of Republic inside Southern Cameroon, the positivity of winning will increase. In other words, you won't see many Southern Cameroonian military or Amazonian defense forces dying, because it is said unity is strength. But in our revolution, unity doesn't make sense. In our revolution, unity is not key. In our revolution, the leaders are only selfishly fighting for their own financial gains through the bloodshed of Southern Cameroonians. So the people who want to free the people of Southern Cameroon have actually turned to be the curse of Southern Cameroonians. This is just the 3rd year that we're fighting militarily, the 4th year that we're fighting Southern Cameroon, and still the forces of Southern Cameroon, the leadership of Southern Cameroon, and the diaspora or ground zero still can't find a common ground to stand as one and face the enemy. They can't do that. Why can't they do that? When we talk of teamwork, working together, unity, we're not necessarily saying that all the military groups must be under one area or one organization. No. Take for example like United States. When the United States was fighting for their independence, they probably and definitely did not have all the military groups like the Navy, Air Force, or the Coast Coast Guard or the Marines. They probably just had just one, which was the Army. And they had to make sure that they had to fight with unity, to stand together as one in order to win. Although there were issues, they tried to iron out the issues. The Southern Cameroonians have been doing this shit for 4 years. And still the leaders in the diaspora cannot come together and sit on a round table and carve a way forward that is going to be suitable, that is going to be better for the people of Southern Cameroon. Yet they want President Paul Biya to sit on a round table and discuss the way forward. But they cannot come to the round table and try to carve out a way forward for Amazonia. Sarko says he's the president, and so everything must go through him. Ayabacho says something else. And the split is actually destroying the revolution, not helping it. In the process of that split, in the process of that division, in the process of that disagreement, Southern Cameroonian soldiers are the one paying the price. Southern Cameroonian citizens are the one paying the price. Too much politics when we need real leadership. Too much politics when we need real leadership. In the social media, all the surrogates and all the speakers know how to bash and say this person is this, and say this person is that, and say this person is this. Yeah, they still can't find a way to come together as a nation that needs a way forward in order to defeat La République du Cameroon and gain independence. We will not have, I believe that the international community might not intervene in this revolution until it gets too catastrophic. And when I mean catastrophic, that is when you are hearing numbers, high numbers of people dying. When you start hearing 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, maybe even 10 million people dying, then they might say, oh, maybe we'll have to do something here. But so long as we're still within the 10 to 20,000 people, or even 10 to 50,000 people dying, they might not intervene. They'll still consider it as an issue that's supposed to be solved within the Cameroon community. Besides, they have other issues to face when it comes to this fucking virus that's killing people. This COVID-19 is far more better than what they're dealing with the COVID-19. Is far more better than the issue that's happened within Southern Cameroon and Cameroon in general. So they might just say that's an internal issue. Let them solve it. We got other things to do. So this is our one great opportunity as Southern Cameroonians, that we must defeat La République du Cameroon militarily to gain our independence. But to win Southern Cameroon militarily, all the soldiers, all the military groups that have been created, from the AMF to the ADF, from the BLM Dragon, Red Dragon, to all will have to find a way to work as a team in their respective counties. We can defeat the Republic of Cameroon if our teams work together, like the Army, the United States Army, like the Marine Corps, like the Navy, the Air Force, different branches of military working for the interests of the United States. So long as we can see eye to eye that all the military groups inside Southern Cameroon are working to better the future of Ambazonia, and to do that, we have to coordinate and work as a team with other forces in our respective counties to destroy the military of La République du Cameroon. How many military camps do we have inside? How many Cameroon military camps do we have inside Southern Cameroon? We have a lot in every county. We have many in every county. Let's start there. Work as a team and obliterate those military groups, those military camps of La République du Cameroon inside Southern Cameroon. If we do that, then we will create the chance, the opportunity to regain our independence. But if we don't find a way to do that, that hope, that dream of a nation known as Ambazonia will be erased in the mindset of every Ambazonian, literally. Because if you don't achieve the dream, then the dream will just be a dream. Until you achieve the dream will be a dream. But if you achieve it now, it becomes a reality. So long as our soldiers on ground zero cannot connect and work as a team to defeat the forces of La République du Cameroon inside Southern Cameroon, the dream of the Ambazonian nation will die out. It's as simple as that. But the leaders don't give a fuck because they're making money. And the people who are paying the price, it's not them. It's the soldiers on ground zero. It's the citizens on ground zero. It's the people on ground zero who are paying the price, not the leaders who are in the diaspora taking money and enjoying it. So we must change our strategy, Southern Cameroonians. We must recognize that the leaders in the diaspora don't give a shit about this revolution and don't give a shit about the citizens on ground zero who are suffering. Don't give a damn. They give a damn about making money out of the revolution. And so long as they're able to make money out of the revolution, they don't care who is being killed on ground zero. It doesn't matter if it's Anglophones or Francophones. It doesn't matter if it's the military of La République du Cameroon or Anglophone citizens. So long as they're making money. So long as people are giving them money to do as they please with it, they don't care what happened to this so-called God-ordained revolution. The revolution might just die out. And Cameroon will swallow Southern Cameroon and own it. And we all will be Cameroon's bitch. This is King H. I'm out.